Jalen had been looking forward to visiting his friend Kale for weeks. Kale lived on Terra Nova, a distant colony on the edge of explored space. Humans had only recently started building homes there, and stories about the domed cities had fascinated Jalen since he was a child. When he finally got the chance to travel, he could barely contain his excitement. The shuttle landed softly on the smooth, glass-like surface of Terra Nova. Outside, the sun was low in the sky, casting golden streaks across the alien landscape. Rolling hills of iridescent grass stretched as far as the eye could see, with tall, spiral-shaped trees that shimmered faintly in the sunlight. The air inside the shuttle felt thin, but the excitement in Jalen's chest made him forget any discomfort. Kale was waiting at the landing dome, waving energetically. His smile was wide and welcoming, and his backpack bounced as he ran toward Jalen. "Jalen, you made it!" Kale shouted, his voice echoing slightly inside the dome. "Wait until you see my home." Jalen stepped out of the shuttle, carefully adjusting to the artificial gravity that made him feel slightly heavier than usual. "It looks amazing already," he said, glancing around at the glowing plants and the strange, floating birds that hovered above the dome. Kale laughed. "You haven't seen anything yet? Come on." They walked along a path lined with luminescent flowers that glowed softly under the dome's lights. Some of the plants changed color when touched, and tiny insects with translucent wings zipped around, leaving trails of light behind them. Jalen was amazed. He had read about these gardens in books and reports, but seeing them in real life was completely different. Kale's home was a large, sleek building near the center of the colony. It was made of smooth white panels and transparent walls that allowed a view of the hills outside. The doors slid open silently as they approached, and a warm light greeted them. Kale's mother was inside, tending to a small indoor garden filled with plants that were entirely unknown to Jalen. She looked up and smiled warmly when she saw him. "Jalen, I'm so glad you're here," she said, stepping forward. Her voice was gentle but carried a sense of energy. The kind of energy that made you feel welcome immediately. "Kale told me you'd be coming. I hope the shuttle ride wasn't too tiring." Jalen shook her hand, smiling. "It was fine. The view outside was incredible." Kale's mother nodded. "Yes, Terra Nova is beautiful, isn't it? And wait until nightfall. You're going to see something very special." Jalen tilted his head curiously. "Something special?" She smiled mysteriously. "The twin auroras. They only happen a few times a year. And tonight, you might be lucky enough to see them. But you'll have to stay long enough." "I insist," Jalen laughed. "I didn't plan to leave so soon anyway. I'm excited to stay." Kale's mother chuckled. "Good. You'll need energy for the adventure ahead." Inside, the house was warm and full of soft lights. There were strange gadgets and tools scattered around, each one humming quietly with energy. Jalen had never seen anything like it. The furniture was sleek and minimal, but functional, and plants hung from the ceiling in pots that seemed to float in midair. Kale ran ahead, showing Jalen his room. It was small but full of charm, with a window looking out onto the hills. Jalen's eyes widened as he looked outside. The grass shimmered under the late afternoon sun, and strange creatures wandered near the horizon. "Wow," Jalen whispered. "I've never seen anything like this." Kale grinned. "And it gets better at night. Wait until you see the sky when the auroras start." After dropping his bag in the room, Jalen followed Kale to the kitchen. Kale's mother was preparing a meal using ingredients that seemed completely alien, yet familiar at the same time. There were small, glowing fruits and vegetables, and a soft aroma filled the room. "Would you like to help?" Kale's mother asked, holding out a small, glowing fruit. Jalen hesitated for a moment but then nodded. "Sure. What do I do?" "Just slice it carefully," she said. "The fruit is soft, but it glows, so be gentle." As Jalen worked, she explained how the plants on Terra Nova had adapted to the planet's unusual environment. Some could absorb light from the auroras, storing energy for months. Others reacted to touch or sound, creating a symphony of colors and movement. Jalen listened intently, fascinated. Humans had come so far, colonizing worlds no one thought possible, and he could feel a sense of pride swelling inside him. Once the meal was ready, they sat together at the table. The glowing fruits made the room look magical, and for a moment, Jalen felt like he had stepped into a dream. Kale's mother told stories of the colony's first years, how humans had built homes in this harsh, alien land, relying on ingenuity, teamwork, and courage. Jalen realized that every small invention, every plant cultivated, every structure built, was a testament to human perseverance. After the meal, Kale grabbed Jalen's hand. "Come on, I want to show you something before the sun sets." They stepped outside into the cooler air. The hills were now bathed in orange and pink light, and the floating creatures glimmered in the dusk. Kale pointed to a ridge overlooking the colony. "From here, you can see the auroras perfectly," he said. Jalen followed him, feeling a thrill run through him. As they climbed the gentle slope, he looked around at the colony below. Lights glowed from domes, paths shimmered softly, and he could see small figures moving, humans going about their daily lives on a planet that had once seemed impossible to live on. "This is amazing," Jalen said. "I can't believe humans built all of this here." Kale nodded. "Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And you're part of it now. Even if just for a night." They reached the top of the ridge just as the first streaks of color appeared in the sky. The twin auroras began to shimmer, one bright green and the other a soft violet, weaving and dancing together like ribbons of light. Jalen's jaw dropped. "It's beautiful," he whispered. Kale's mother joined them at the ridge, smiling warmly. "It's even better when you know what it took to get here," she said. "Humans don't just adapt to new worlds. They thrive. They make a home where none existed before. And you're seeing the results of that spirit tonight." Jalen looked at the sky, the lights swirling above him, and felt a sense of awe he had never experienced before. He realized that humans had not only survived in space, but they had made beauty out of challenge. He felt proud to be human, proud of the creativity and courage that allowed people to reach places others never thought possible. As the auroras danced, Jalen thought about his own journey. He was here, on a world far from Earth, witnessing something that would be remembered for generations. The night stretched ahead, full of potential and wonder, and he knew that staying at Kale's home was the right decision. Kyle leaned on his shoulder, eyes bright with excitement. "I'm glad you're here, Jalen. This is going to be a night to remember." Jalen smiled, watching the lights above. He felt a deep connection not just to his friend or Kale's family, but to humanity itself. Humans had always reached for the stars, and now he was standing among them, seeing the results firsthand. Tonight was only the beginning. The auroras shimmered, reflected in Jalen's wide eyes, as the first night on Terra Nova began, a night full of wonder, friendship, and the unmistakable spirit of human ingenuity. Word count to 1,300. Night had fully settled over Terra Nova. The twin auroras continued to swirl across the sky, painting the horizon in vibrant greens, violets, and soft blues. Jalen couldn't stop staring. Every movement of light seemed alive, almost like the planet itself was breathing and showing its beauty. Kale led Jalen down a small path from the ridge, winding toward the bioluminescent garden that surrounded their home. The garden was quiet, except for the soft hum of small creatures fluttering through the air. The plants glowed faintly, their light reflecting on the paths like tiny stars scattered on the ground. "These plants are amazing," Jalen said, bending slightly to touch a glowing fern. The plant reacted instantly, pulsing softly in response. "It's like they know we're here." Kale smiled. "They do. Almost all plants on Terra Nova react to light, sound, or touch. It's one of the reasons humans can survive here. We've learned to live with the planet, not just on it." Jalen's curiosity grew with every step. He looked around and noticed how carefully the paths were built to avoid crushing any of the fragile flora. Tiny bridges curved over streams of glowing water, and miniature insects with translucent wings zipped past, leaving streaks of light that faded slowly. He had never seen a garden like this on Earth or anywhere else. Kale's mother joined them, carrying a small lantern that emitted a soft, golden light. "I see you two are exploring," she said warmly. "I thought you might enjoy seeing the garden at night." The plants respond differently after dark. Some only glow when the air temperature drops. Others only bloom when the auroras appear. Jalen's eyes widened. "Really? That's incredible," she nodded. "Yes. Humans have spent years learning how to adapt here. We've studied the plants, the wildlife, even the weather patterns. Terra Nova isn't easy to live on, but that's what makes it exciting. We make the impossible possible." Jalen felt a sudden swell of pride. He realized that the beauty around him wasn't just natural. It was the result of human curiosity, care, and ingenuity. Every glowing plant, every carefully built path, every tiny creature that survived alongside humans told a story of resilience. As they walked deeper into the garden, they reached a small clearing. In the center, a cluster of flowers glowed with a soft white light. They seemed almost magical, and their petals shimmered as if sprinkled with stardust. "These are called star blossoms," Kale's mother explained. "They bloom only once a year, and only when the auroras are strongest. They've adapted to store the aurora's energy, which helps the colony in ways you can't even imagine." Jalen leaned closer. "Store energy? How does that work?" "They absorb the aurora's light and convert it into usable energy," Kale's mother said. "It's not enough to power a whole building, but it helps with minor systems in the colony. It's amazing what humans can learn when we pay attention to nature." Jalen was fascinated. He had always loved science and discovery, but seeing it applied in a real, thriving human colony on another planet filled him with awe. "It's incredible how humans can adapt to anything," he said quietly. "Even a planet this alien." Kale's mother smiled. "That's what makes us human. We see challenges as opportunities. We don't just survive, we thrive." As they explored further, Jalen noticed a small pond reflecting the auroras above. The water shimmered in waves of green and violet, creating a mirror of the sky. Tiny creatures skimmed across the surface, leaving trails of light behind them. He knelt by the edge, mesmerized. Kale crouched beside him. "These are called loomfish. They're not actually fish, they're more like floating plants with tiny sensors. But they're fascinating to watch. Humans introduced them to the ponds years ago to help maintain the ecosystem. Even small actions, like this, make a big difference here." Jalen laughed softly. "Humans really do leave their mark everywhere, don't they?" Kale nodded. "Yeah. But it's not just about leaving a mark. It's about learning, adapting, and helping the world grow with us." The three of them continued walking until they reached a small clearing with benches made from smooth stone. Kale's mother gestured for them to sit. She took a deep breath, looking up at the sky. "The auroras are strongest tonight," she said softly. "Watch closely. They'll move faster soon, and you'll see colors you've never imagined." Jalen leaned back on the bench, feeling the cool night air against his skin. He felt a sense of calm mixed with excitement. The sky above seemed endless, and the lights danced like ribbons of hope. For the first time, he understood something he had only read about. Humans could create life and beauty in places that seemed impossible to live in. Suddenly, a soft hum echoed through the garden. Jalen looked around, startled. "What's that?" he asked. Kale's mother smiled knowingly. "That's the garden pulse. All the plants in the dome communicate in subtle ways. It's a rhythm they maintain to balance the ecosystem. You can feel it if you're quiet enough." Jalen closed his eyes for a moment. The hum was faint at first, but as he focused, it became clearer, a soft, melodic vibration that seemed to connect everything in the garden. It was as if the planet itself was alive, and humans had learned to live harmoniously with it. "This is amazing," Jalen whispered. "I've never felt anything like this before." Kale grinned. "I told you, Terra Nova is special. It's not just about the auroras or the plants. It's about humans learning to be part of something bigger. We're not just visitors here, we're caretakers too." Jalen nodded slowly. absorbing every word. He realized that humans had a unique ability, not just to explore, but to adapt, to learn, and to create life wherever they went. Even on a planet as alien as Terra Nova, humans could thrive. Kale's mother handed them each a small, glowing cup filled with a warm liquid that smelled faintly like the auroras. "This is called Aurora Tea," she said. "It helps you feel connected to the environment, to the lights above, and to the life around you. Drink slowly." Jalen took a sip, feeling warmth spread through him. The taste was sweet and slightly tangy, unlike anything he had experienced before. He felt lighter somehow, as if he could see the world more clearly. Kale watched him closely. "See? Humans can make even the strangest planets feel like home." Jalen smiled, feeling a deep sense of belonging. He realized that staying at Kale's home was more than just visiting a friend. It was experiencing what humans could achieve when they worked together, learned from their environment, and embraced the unknown. As the night deepened, the auroras swirled faster, colors blending and separating in mesmerizing patterns. Jalen and Kale sat quietly, watching the sky. The gentle hum of the garden pulse and the soft glow of the plants created a feeling of peace and wonder. Jalen thought about Earth, about all the times humans had faced challenges and made the impossible possible. From building cities in deserts to traveling to space, humans had always found a way to thrive. And now, here on Terra Nova, he could see that spirit alive and vibrant. Kale nudged him. "Look, the auroras are forming a spiral. That only happens when the energy in the planet is just right." Jalen's eyes widened. The lights twisted and spun, forming patterns that seemed almost intelligent, almost alive. He felt a surge of excitement. Humans had reached a world that no other species had attempted to colonize, and they were not just surviving, they were thriving, creating beauty, learning from the planet, and making it a home. This is incredible," Jalen said softly. "I didn't realize how much humans could do." Kale's mother smiled. "You're seeing just the beginning. Humans have always been explorers. We don't just find new places, we make them better. We learn from them, and we leave a positive mark. And now, you're part of that story too." Jalen looked around at the glowing plants, the shimmering loom fish, the swirling auroras above, and the serene beauty of Terra Nova at night. He felt proud, inspired, and full of curiosity. He knew that this night, this experience, would stay with him forever. The hum of the garden, the sparkling lights in the sky, and the warmth of friendship wrapped around him like a blanket. Jalen realized that humans were not just ordinary beings, they were capable of wonder, courage, and greatness. And tonight, on Terra Nova, he would remember that forever. The next morning, Jalen woke to a soft, pinkish light filtering through the transparent walls of Kale's home. He blinked a few times, still marveling at the strange yet beautiful plants hanging from the ceiling. The morning air smelled fresh and slightly sweet, like the flowers outside. Kale was already awake, pacing around the room with energy only a child on Terra Nova could have. "Jalen, come on. Mom says there's something you have to see in the garden. Hurry." Jalen rubbed his eyes but smiled, knowing he could never resist Kale's enthusiasm. He quickly got dressed, pulling on a light jacket that felt warmer than he expected in the gentle gravity of Terra Nova. When they stepped outside, the garden was bathed in soft morning light. Dew sparkled on the glowing plants, creating miniature rainbows that danced across the ground. Jalen inhaled deeply. He felt more alive than ever. Kale led him to a small pavilion in the center of the garden where Kale's mother was already waiting. "Good morning, Jalen," she said warmly. "I hope you slept well. Today, I want to show you something important about Terra Nova, something that humans have learned to handle here better than anywhere else." Jalen tilted his head. "Yes," she replied. "Even on a planet as beautiful as Terra Nova, challenges appear unexpectedly. That's why humans are special. We face problems, and we find solutions. That's part of surviving and thriving on new worlds." Before Jalen could ask more, An alarm softly hummed from a nearby panel. The garden lights flickered, dimming slightly. Jalen frowned. "What's happening?" Kale's mother pointed to a screen on the wall. "It looks like a minor malfunction in the colony's energy grid. Nothing dangerous, but if we don't fix it, parts of the garden and some small systems in the colony might go offline. This is a perfect opportunity for you to see humans at work." Jalen's eyes widened. "We can fix it?" Kale's mother nodded. "Yes. But it requires calm thinking, quick action, and teamwork. That's what humans excel at. We may not have alien technology's speed or strength, but we make up for it with intelligence, creativity, and cooperation." Jalen's heart raced. This was real, not just observing human ingenuity, but participating in it. "I want to help," he said confidently. Kale grinned. "Then let's get to work." They walked quickly to the energy hub, a small building attached to the main dome. Inside, screens flashed with data about the colony's systems, and soft mechanical hums filled the air. Kale's mother moved to a panel, typing quickly. "Jalen, you can help me stabilize the secondary circuits," she instructed. "Follow my lead carefully. If we reroute the energy slowly, we can prevent any systems from failing." Jalen nodded and focused. The screens displayed graphs, lights, and numbers he had never seen before. He took a deep breath and followed Kale's mother's instructions. Step by step, they worked to redirect power. Kale helped too, holding small tools and passing components when needed. Together, the three of them formed a rhythm: human teamwork in action. After a tense few minutes, the lights in the room steadied. The garden outside glowed once more, brighter than before. Jalen let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "We did it!" Kale exclaimed, high-fiving Jalen. Kale's mother smiled proudly. "You see? Humans don't just face challenges. We solve them. We adapt. We create solutions. And we make sure life continues even on planets where survival isn't easy." Jalen felt a sense of pride swell inside him. He had helped solve a problem on another planet. He had contributed to a human colony thriving in a world that seemed impossible to live on. The morning passed with Kale showing him more of the garden's secrets. They discovered plants that moved slowly when sunlight hit them, small creatures that glowed only in pairs, and even a patch of flowers that changed shape depending on who touched them. Each discovery filled Jalen with awe and admiration, not just for the planet, but for humans who had learned to live in harmony with it. As they returned to the pavilion for a break, Kale's mother handed them each a small, glowing snack. "Energy bars made from Terra Nova plants," she explained. "Humans can make food from nearly anything. It keeps us strong, even in places far from Earth." Jalen bit into his bar, tasting a strange but delicious mix of flavors. "This is amazing," he said. "Humans can make anything work. Can't we?" Kale's mother laughed. "Yes. That's part of what makes us special. We don't give up when faced with challenges. We adapt, we innovate, we survive, and often, we thrive." After their snack, they walked to a small observation deck near the edge of the dome. From there, the horizon stretched endlessly. Rolling hills, glowing plants, and distant mountains filled the view. But Jalen noticed something strange: a thin, dark line in the sky. "What is that?" he asked, pointing. Kale's mother squinted. "That looks like a minor atmospheric disturbance. Not dangerous, but unusual. It could affect the colony if it grows stronger. This is another example of challenges humans face here. Nature on Terra Nova is unpredictable, and humans have to be ready for anything." Jalen shivered slightly, not from fear, but from excitement. Another challenge. Another opportunity to see humans shine. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the dome. The lights in the garden flickered again, and the faint hum of the garden pulse shifted. Jalen instinctively moved closer to Kale's mother. "We need to stabilize the dome's secondary shields," she said calmly. "It's a minor task, but it requires precision. Jalen, you can help me monitor the energy flow. Kale, You assist with the shield panels. Jalen nodded, feeling his heart pound. This was real teamwork. Humans had created colonies on alien worlds, and now he was part of it. They moved to the shield control room, a small space filled with panels, buttons, and glowing indicators. Kale's mother guided Jalen through each step, showing him how to reroute energy and monitor pressure levels. It was complicated, but Jalen's mind focused, remembering every instruction. Kale and Jalen worked in tandem, carefully adjusting panels and circuits. Slowly, the dome stabilized. The gusts of wind outside subsided, and the lights returned to their steady glow. "We did it again," Jalen said, smiling, feeling a rush of accomplishment. Kale's mother put a hand on his shoulder. "You see, Jalen? Humans can handle challenges that seem impossible. We don't have to be the strongest or the fastest. Our greatest strength is our mind, our creativity, and our ability to work together." Jalen looked out at the garden, the glowing plants, and the auroras in the distance. Everything seemed brighter now. He realized that humans had thrived on this planet not because it was easy, but because they never gave up. They observed, they learned, and they adapted. That was humanity's greatest gift. The day continued with more exploration. Kale and Jalen discovered a small grove where the plants reacted to their voices, creating soft musical tones. They laughed and experimented, finding patterns in the sounds. Jalen felt alive in a way he never had before, part of something larger, something meaningful. By the time evening approached, Jalen understood something profound. Terra Nova was not just a beautiful planet, it was a test of human ingenuity. Every problem, every challenge, every unusual plant or strange creature was an opportunity for humans to show what they could do. And in that moment, Jalen realized he was witnessing one of the most important human traits: the ability to thrive, even in the unknown. Kale leaned on his shoulder, eyes bright. "Humans really can do anything, can't they?" Jalen smiled. "Yeah. And I want to learn more. I want to see everything humans can do here." Kale's mother joined them, smiling softly. "You've already learned a lot today, Jalen. But remember this. It's not just about the discoveries. It's about courage, curiosity, and teamwork. Humans succeed not because the world is easy, but because we never stop trying." Jalen nodded. He felt inspired, ready to face whatever came next. Tonight, the auroras would shine again, and he knew that tomorrow would bring new adventures. Humans had made Terra Nova their home, and he was lucky enough to see it firsthand. As the sun set, painting the sky with warm oranges and purples, Jalen looked around the garden. He felt proud to be human, proud of the ingenuity, curiosity, and resilience that allowed people to thrive anywhere, even on a planet as alien and challenging as Terra Nova. And in that moment, he knew that he was just beginning to understand the true power of humanity. Night had fallen over Terra Nova once more, and the twin auroras began their slow dance across the sky. Jalen stood on the observation deck, his eyes wide with awe. The glowing ribbons of green and violet twisted and spiraled, painting the horizon in colors he had never seen before. Each movement of light seemed alive, as if the planet itself was showing off for its visitors. KL leaned against the railing beside him. "This is my favorite time of day," he said softly. "The auroras remind us of what humans can do. We survive on worlds no one thought possible, and we even make them beautiful." Jalen nodded, still mesmerized. "It's incredible. I never realized humans could leave such a mark on a planet. Even something as wild as this feels like home because of what humans have built." Kale's mother appeared behind them, carrying a small tray of glowing plants. "Aurora tea," she said, placing it on the railing. "It will help you feel more connected to the environment. Drink slowly, and take in everything around you." Jalen accepted a cup, feeling its warm glow in his hands. The liquid was sweet and slightly tangy, carrying the faint essence of the auroras themselves. He took a sip, Feeling warmth spread through him, the colors in the sky seemed brighter, more alive, as if the tea had sharpened his senses. "This tea is amazing," Jalen said. "It almost makes me feel like I'm part of the auroras." Kale's mother smiled. "That is exactly the point. Humans thrive not just by surviving, but by connecting with the world around them. The auroras, the garden, the planet itself. Everything teaches us lessons if we pay attention." As they sipped their tea, a soft vibration ran through the ground. Jalen looked down at the glowing plants beneath the observation deck. The garden pulse was stronger tonight, pulsing in rhythm with the auroras above. It was almost musical, a soft, harmonious beat that seemed to connect everything in the dome. "Listen," Kale whispered. "The garden is responding to the auroras. The plants absorb the light and energy from the sky, and in return, they help power the colony. Humans figured this out years ago. That's why Terra Nova thrives." Jalen knelt to touch a glowing plant near the railing. It pulsed softly beneath his fingers, and he felt a sense of connection he had never experienced before. Humans had taken a planet that was once harsh and unknown, and learned to live with it, adapt to it, and even draw energy from its natural wonders. "They really are amazing," Jalen murmured. "Humans can make life thrive anywhere." Kale's mother placed a hand on his shoulder. "That's what makes humans special. We are curious, inventive, and resilient. We do not stop when faced with challenges. Instead, we find solutions, and we turn obstacles into opportunities. This planet is proof of that." Just then, Kale pointed toward the horizon. A cluster of lights flickered in the distance, moving slowly across the hills. "Look! Something's happening," he said excitedly. Jalen squinted. "What is it?" Kale's mother nodded. "It looks like a rare phenomenon called the aurora spiral. It occurs when energy from the twin auroras interacts with the magnetic fields of the planet. Humans have studied it for years, but it is rare to see it at its full strength. We are lucky tonight." The lights swirled, forming a spiral of brilliant colors that seemed to stretch into the sky itself. Jalen's breath caught. It's alive," he whispered. "It's like the planet is showing us something." Kale laughed softly. "Humans are amazing, aren't we? We've learned to live here, understand it, and even create systems that work with the planet instead of against it. That's why we can see this." Jalen felt a surge of pride. Humans had not only adapted to Terra Nova, they had made it a home. Every garden, every path, every glowing creature was a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. And now, seeing the aurora spiral, he understood that humans didn't just survive, they thrived. Kale's mother motioned toward a small hill near the spiral. "Come with me. I want to show you a human invention that helps us understand and protect this planet." They followed her through the garden, the glowing plants lighting their path. As they approached the hill, Jalen saw a small structure made of smooth panels and glass. It looked simple, but there was a hum of energy surrounding it. "This is the Harmony Tower," Kale's mother explained. "It monitors the auroras, the magnetic fields, and the energy in the plants. It helps us predict changes in the environment and make sure the colony remains safe. It is completely powered by human innovation and the natural energy of Terra Nova." Jalen's eyes widened. "This is incredible. Humans made this?" She nodded. "Yes. Humans take what the planet gives and use it wisely. We learn from nature, we study it, and we apply what we learn. That is why we can survive on worlds that others would abandon." Kale ran to a control panel on the tower and motioned for Jalen to join him. "You can see how it works," he said. "Watch this." He pressed a few buttons, and the tower's sensors lit up. Holographic images of the auroras, the magnetic fields, and the energy flow in the garden appeared in midair. Jalen watched in amazement as streams of data transformed into a visual map of the planet's energy. "Humans can make sense of anything," Jalen said, his voice full of wonder. "We can study, understand, and protect even an alien world." Kale's mother smiled. Exactly. That is why humanity thrives. We are not passive observers. We interact, we learn, we innovate, and we leave the world better than we found it. That is the spirit of humans. Jalen spent the next hour exploring the tower, learning how humans had combined technology with nature to maintain a balance on Terra Nova. He watched as Kale's mother demonstrated how small adjustments to the garden's energy systems could prevent disruptions in the colony. Every step highlighted human ingenuity, simple, smart, and effective solutions that made life possible on an alien world. After leaving the tower, they returned to the observation deck. The aurora spiral had grown larger, stretching across the sky in a breathtaking display. Jalen felt a sense of awe he could not put into words. The combination of natural wonder and human achievement made him realize that humans could accomplish anything. Kale turned to him. You see, Jalen? Humans are more than explorers. We are creators, innovators, and caretakers. We take challenges, learn from them, and make the impossible possible. Jalen nodded slowly, feeling inspired. I understand now. It's not just about surviving. It's about improving, learning, and leaving a positive mark wherever we go. Kale's mother handed him a small, luminescent plant. Take this, she said. It is a symbol of human creativity and the ability to nurture life. Keep it with you, and remember that humans can shine even in the most unlikely places. Jalen carefully accepted the gift, feeling a deep sense of responsibility. He knew that the plant represented more than just a living thing. It symbolized human ingenuity, perseverance, and hope. As the night grew deeper, Jalen, Kale, and Kale's mother sat together, watching the aurora spiral twist and turn above them. The soft hum of the garden pulse filled the air, blending with the gentle wind. It was a moment of peace, beauty, and reflection. Jalen thought about Earth and all the challenges humans had faced there. Floods, storms, mountains, deserts, and realized that humanity's greatest strength was the same everywhere. The ability to adapt, learn, and thrive. He understood that humans could make life flourish even in the harshest environments, and that this planet, with all its strange and magical wonders, was proof of that. Kale leaned against him. Humans really can do anything, don't you think? Jalen smiled. Yes. And I want to learn even more. I want to see how humans continue to make this world better. Kale's mother looked at him with pride. That is the spirit. Humans succeed, not because the world is easy, but because we are brave, clever, and determined. And now you are part of that story, Jalen. The auroras above them reached their peak, spiraling in brilliant colors. Jalen felt connected to everything: the planet, the colony, the glowing plants, and the people around him. He understood that humans could shine anywhere, leaving beauty and progress in their wake. Tonight, on Terra Nova, Jalen realized the true meaning of human ingenuity. It wasn't just about technology or survival. It was about understanding, caring, creating, and inspiring. Humans could face any challenge, turn it into an opportunity, and thrive. And as he watched the auroras reflect in the glowing garden below, Jalen knew he would never forget this night, a night where he saw humanity at its brightest. Morning light spilled across Terra Nova, painting the hills with soft shades of gold and pink. Jalen stood near the edge of Kale's home, gazing out at the glowing gardens below and the domes scattered across the colony. It had been an unforgettable few days filled with wonder, discovery, and lessons about humanity he had never imagined. Kale bounced up beside him, full of energy even so early in the day. I can't believe you're leaving today, he said, sounding almost disappointed. There's still so much to see, Jalen smiled, ruffling Kale's hair. I know. And I wish I could stay longer. But I'll never forget everything I've seen here. This place, this planet, it's amazing. Kale's mother joined them, holding a small basket filled with luminescent fruits. Breakfast before your journey, she said warmly. Eat well. The shuttle ride can be long, and you'll need your energy. Jalen accepted a fruit, marveling at its glow. The taste was sweet and slightly tangy, carrying the subtle flavor of Terra Nova itself. As he ate, he looked around at the garden, everything, the glowing plants, the flowing streams, the gentle hum of the garden pulse was alive with a rhythm that humans had learned to work with. He felt connected, not just to the planet, but to the human ingenuity that had made life here possible. After breakfast, Kale's mother led him to a small platform near the landing dome. "Before you leave, I want to remind you of something important," she said. "Humans have a unique ability. We face challenges, we adapt, and we thrive. We do not give up, even when the odds seem impossible. And wherever we go, we leave a mark, not by conquering, but by creating, understanding, and inspiring." Jalen nodded, feeling the truth of her words. These past few days had shown him that humans were not ordinary beings. They could make life flourish anywhere. They could learn from alien worlds, build harmony with them, and create beauty in places that once seemed impossible to inhabit. Kale tugged at his hand. "Come on, Jalen, let's go see the shuttle one last time." They walked through the garden, past the glowing plants and floating loomfish, past the small ponds reflecting the morning sky. Jalen took in every detail: the spiral-shaped trees, the tiny creatures, the delicate flowers that responded to touch. Each element was a testament to human ingenuity, the result of curiosity, care, and persistence. As they reached the shuttle, Jalen glanced back at the colony. The domes glowed faintly, powered by a combination of human technology and the natural energy of the planet. Streams of water reflected the morning light, and the hills stretched endlessly beyond. He felt proud of humanity and its ability to adapt, to survive, and to thrive. Kale's mother handed him the small luminescent plant she had given him earlier. "Take this with you," she said. "It is a symbol of human creativity and the spirit that allows us to make life flourish anywhere. Let it remind you that humans are capable of more than you might imagine." Jalen accepted the plant carefully, feeling a deep sense of responsibility. He knew that it was more than just a gift, it was a lesson, a reminder of what humans could achieve when they worked together, learned from the world around them, and never gave up. The shuttle's engines hummed softly, ready for departure. Jalen stepped aboard, looking out one last time at the colony below. Kale waved, his smile bright and full of energy. Jalen waved back, feeling a mixture of sadness and inspiration. As the shuttle lifted off, the view of Terra Nova expanded before him. The domes, the glowing gardens, and the shimmering auroras stretched across the horizon. He realized that humanity had achieved something incredible here. They had turned an alien, harsh world into a home filled with life, beauty, and hope. Jalen thought about the lessons he had learned over the past few days. Humans thrived, not because the world was easy, but because they were adaptable, clever, and compassionate. They faced every challenge with determination and creativity, and they worked together to make impossible situations possible. The shuttle ascended higher, leaving the colony below. Jalen watched the twin auroras fade slightly in the morning light, their colors blending into the sky. He felt a sense of awe and inspiration. Humans had not only survived on Terra Nova, they had created harmony with the planet, learned its secrets, and made it flourish. He reflected on the garden pulse, the loomfish, the star blossoms, and the harmony tower. Each was a reminder of what humans could accomplish with curiosity, intelligence, and teamwork. He realized that humans had a unique gift: the ability to adapt and thrive in any environment, turning challenges into opportunities for growth and innovation. Kale's voice broke through his thoughts. "You'll come back, right?" Jalen smiled. "Of course. I want to learn more. There's so much humans can do here, and I want to see it all." Kale nodded, his excitement contagious. "I'll show you everything next time. You'll love it." Kale's mother's voice came over the intercom of the shuttle. "Remember, Jalen, humans leave more than footprints. We leave understanding, progress, and hope. Wherever you go, Carry that with you. You are part of our story now. Jalen closed his eyes for a moment, feeling the weight of her words. He realized that humans were not just explorers, they were creators, innovators, and caretakers. They could face any challenge and turn it into an opportunity for growth. And now he understood that he, too, could carry that spirit wherever he went. The shuttle left the atmosphere of Terra Nova, and the planet gradually became a small, glowing orb in the distance. Jalen stared at it, feeling a deep sense of connection. The auroras, the glowing gardens, the colony, all were symbols of human ingenuity and resilience. He knew that humanity's story was far from over, and that people would continue to thrive and create wherever they went. As the shuttle entered the empty stretches of space, Jalen looked at the luminescent plant in his hands. Its soft glow reminded him of everything he had experienced, the teamwork, the discoveries, and the lessons about human strength and creativity. He smiled, feeling inspired to carry that spirit into his own life. He thought about Earth, about other colonies humans had built, and about the challenges yet to come. Humans would continue to explore, to adapt, and to create, leaving a positive mark on every world they touched. Jalen felt proud to be human, proud of the ingenuity, curiosity, and resilience that allowed his species to thrive anywhere. Hours passed as the shuttle traveled through space. Jalen watched stars drift by, thinking about Terra Nova and the lessons he had learned. Humans had turned a distant, alien world into a home, not by force, but by intelligence, care, and collaboration. That was the true power of humanity. As the shuttle approached the next station, Jalen reflected on the journey. He realized that every human achievement, no matter how small, contributed to the bigger picture of exploration and growth. From building colonies on alien planets to learning from every challenge, humans had a remarkable ability to flourish in any environment. Jalen smiled as he thought about returning to Terra Nova one day. He wanted to explore more, to understand more, and to see how humans continued to shine on this extraordinary planet. He knew that the lessons he had learned would stay with him forever about curiosity, teamwork, perseverance, and the ability to turn challenges into triumphs. The shuttle docked at the station, and Jalen prepared to disembark. He glanced once more at the glowing plant in his hands, feeling a sense of pride and responsibility. Humans were extraordinary, not because they were the strongest or fastest, but because they could think, create, and care. And now, he was part of that story. As he stepped onto the station, Jalen looked out at the vast expanse of space, knowing that Terra Nova would always hold a special place in his heart. The twin auroras, the glowing gardens, and the lessons of human ingenuity would guide him for the rest of his life. Jalen took a deep breath, feeling inspired and hopeful. Humans had faced challenges across the universe, and they had thrived. He knew that he, too, could carry that spirit wherever he went, curious, brave, and determined to make the impossible possible. And as he walked into the station, ready for the next adventure, he smiled, thinking of Terra Nova, of Kale, and of the limitless possibilities that awaited humans in the vastness of space. For Jalen had learned the ultimate lesson. Humans could thrive anywhere, leave beauty behind, and inspire greatness not by conquering, but by understanding, creating, and persevering. And with that thought, Jalen knew that humanity would continue to shine, no matter where they went.